Pressure mounts on organized labor not to put a freeze on their plans to proceed with an industrial action if government fails to act on the Galamsey menace. And in business, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority records 11.75% growth in non-traditional exports for the period between January and December 2023. We have details of these and many other stories coming up shortly. Do stay with us. Grateful for your time. My name is Obed Gaglo. Now, hundreds of protesters who converged at the precinct of the Accra Sports Stadium to climax the three-day Stop Galamsey Now and Free the Citizens protest have issued a stern warning to organized labor not to put a freeze on their plans to proceed with an industrial action if the government fails to act on the Galamsey menace. This comes ahead of organized labor's crunch meeting today to determine the way forward. After last week's meeting with President Akufo-Addo, the group had earlier indicated their resolve to strike on October 10 due to government's inaction towards dealing with the Galamsey menace. Speaking at a vigil to climax the three-day protest, some of the protesters warned organized labor against accepting any overtures from the government. Actor and movie producer James Gardner also said he will continue to add his voice until the right thing is done. He revealed his intention to continually participate in any meaningful protest in the interest of the country.
It's very organized. You can tell that even though it's a demonstration, everyone is still being of their very, very good behavior. And as you can see, if you look around, there's no violence or anything. It's just the numbers is what we're looking for, because it sends a message home when you have a lot of people going around talking about the same thing. And so I can feel the unity. I just hope that this sends the message to the rightful people that have to hear. It's very obvious that this is destroying our environment. Come on, if we don't take care of our government, who is going to come take of our environment? Who's going to come take care of it for us? It has to stop now. Until something is done about it, we are going to keep speaking up. I'm going to keep putting my voice out there, join the protest, peaceful protest for that matter. There are even people who are still kept behind bars. This is supposed to be a democratic country. It's supposed to be a country where everyone's rights count. Why is it that people are being detained for fighting for what? The government, the environment? It's just disheartening and very heartbreaking.
Away from that, Member of Parliament for Medina, Francis Zavia Sosu, has announced adoption of 20 orphans. His commitment to these vulnerable children goes beyond temporary support, with the vow to fully cater for their educational needs up to the tertiary level. This gesture, a part of the Compassion Outreach Initiative, reflects Sosu's dedication to providing access to education and social justice.
This initiative, announced during a ceremony at Pantan Basic School, seeks to provide for the educational needs of children aged 3 to 16. The first-time lawmaker, who has long championed education and social justice, emphasized the significance of supporting vulnerable children in the community.
All these children are all out of school because they are orphans. Some are ready to go to junior high school, some are in basic school, basic 1, basic 2, basic 3, but they are all out of school. And all of them, we've been able to identify them with support of the assembly member and unit committee members. And the good news is that today we are putting all of them back to school.
The children were carefully selected through a screening process involving local officials, assembly members, and community stakeholders from the Pantan electoral area. Sosu's commitment to these orphans includes full tuition fees and learning materials up to higher levels depending on the individuals.
These children are going to be in our what we call like the Sosu Orphan Project. And the orphan project is a special outreach to only orphans, that is needy orphans. And so along the line, we will be taking care of these children until they reach the highest level of education they can ever reach.
The Sosu Education Initiative will oversee the implementation of this project, ensuring that the adopted children are well supported through every stage of their education. The gesture has garnered praise from local officials and community leaders who view it as a beacon of hope for not only the children but also vulnerable groups like women, the elderly, and the physically challenged. As the orphans smiled with hope and joy, Zavia Sosu's final words resonated deeply. His commitment to the children and his ongoing work in the community further cemented his legacy as a leader devoted to social change and the betterment of all.
Now, Finance Minister Dr. Amin Adams says Ghana's economy is on rebound following a major debt relief deal that saw $5 billion of the country's debt cancelled. During a Bantama Big Walk, which also launched the New Patriotic Party's campaign for the Bantama constituency, Dr. Amin Adams highlighted this achievement as a key milestone in the government's ongoing efforts to restore economic stability. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Isaac Justice Bediako has more in the following reports.
Addressing the party supporters, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adams disclosed that just 2 days prior, this government negotiated with creditors, resulting in the cancellation of $5 billion of Ghana's debts. Dr. Amin emphasized the positive impact this would have on the country's financial recovery.
The economy of Ghana is back, and it is back stronger, and it is going to be stronger and stronger forever. Just 2 days ago, this government negotiated with our creditors, those countries we owe, and they have cancelled $5 billion of our debts. I want the NDC to know, they used to say that they were going to campaign on the economy, that the economy is not doing well. Do you hear them talk about the economy again? All they are talking about is Galamsey. They have lost the campaign on the economy because the economy has come back stronger.
The Member of Parliament for the Bantama constituency, Francis Asenso-Boakye, who doubles as the Minister of Roads and Highways, urged electorates to compare data on achievements of the previous NDC government and the present NPP government before they vote.
The road sector, the performance of the NDC and the performance of the NPP, the difference is big. It's as big as the Bantama War. It's as big as the Atlantic Ocean. Now, other sectors also, education, yayebe bracing obiani, health, yayebe bracing sports, every single sector we have performed NDC even before we reach our 8-year mandate.
The vice presidential candidate of the party, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Krempe, urged Ghanaians to reject the former president because he performed woefully in office.
Former President John Dramani Mahama, I'm going to catch a Ghana for say, if you're 9, what do we find out my year? It will be as if you're 9 or Bano, or by day, or by Ghana year, and or by any bottom year. How did NDC to do MPP and Juma Waya one? Now, so Probia, or by a year, put him in Kotoma. Obed Tuama, Dr. Mamudu Paulia.
The Bantama Big Walk drew significant crowd, signaling the NPP's determination to mobilize its base in the Ashanti region as the December elections approach. The walk started from Kumasi Girls School through to Abrepo, Boshen, and Pabame, Abrepo Junction, and ended at Bantama.
Now, away from politics, the kingmaker of the La Traditional Council, Ni Ajay Kofi IV, has called out the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs and the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs for being selective and biased against the La Traditional Council. This follows an alleged suspension of the La Traditional Council by the Sector Ministry and the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. Speaking during a community engagement with family heads and indigents of La, Ni Ajay Kofi IV refuted claims that the council was suspended due to sale of lands in the La Traditional area. The kingmaker also urged the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs to focus on fighting against the Galamsey menace that has wreaked havoc in many parts of the country rather than unlawfully suspending the traditional council.
I may also ask, why is it restricted only to La? Are all traditional councils in Ghana and the regional houses of chiefs currently properly constituted? And if not, why haven't any of them been suspended, but only La traditional council? As I said, it is Lamen, some Lamen, for their own selfish interest, who went to scheme for this to happen. But the issue is whether what has been done is right in the eyes of the law, and I want all to probe. Others are adding negative twists to it, that we are selling land. That is why the council has been suspended. I will entreat everyone to ask those people to provide evidence of the lands that we are selling. And even if we are selling lands, those who suspended us, do they have the mandate to say La? Elders are selling land, so they are suspending the traditional council. And all those who are peddling this falsehood have not been able to provide any evidence.
Now, the legal advisor of the overlord of the Kusel traditional area, Naba Asigre Abogrago II, Maxwell Agbambila, is appealing to peace before, during, and after the 2024 elections. Speaking during the commemoration of the passage of the Kusase community chief in the Greater Accra region, he called on various traditional leaders and youth from both sides to smoke the peace pipe in order to foster development.
In Boku and the Kusasi state in general, I know that everybody has heard about the unfortunate occurrences that has plagued our place for some time now. But fortunately for us, I think that for some time now, there has been some calm and peace in the area, which has led to even the government reviewing the curfew hours in Boku. We are very positive and hoping and praying that the peace that is currently prevailing will continue to prevail, so that we are able to finish the year, have our elections very peacefully. But speaking for myself, as a youth and one of the leaders of the youth, I want to implore all our contemporaries, young men, young women in the area, that we should give peace a chance. Because indeed, I mean, there's really no point in killing each other. Whatever is at stake, killing each other has never and will never be the answer. There's no way we can kill each other into solving the problem. So it is just we inflicting pain on each other and causing people to have recurrent anger and pain in them. But beyond that, there's nothing. What is at stake is a very simple matter. I think that there are institutions that we can all go to, and indeed we have explored them over the years. And I know that if we keep going on that tangent, we will find lasting peace in Boku. We grew up together as brothers and sisters. There's no peace. I mean, there's no need. There's no point in us, going on this tangent and inflicting unnecessary pain on each other. It doesn't benefit anybody in any way. So I want to call on everybody that, especially in this year of the elections, let us go out there, preach peace, make sure that our community, our people, recognize that we are one people. Whether you want to be NDC or MPP, that's another matter. But as far as we are concerned, we want there to be calm and peace, so that everybody can go about his business, because it's affecting people, innocent people. School children cannot go to school like they used to do. Many professionals who were posted to our area have fled. It ought not to be so, because we want development, we want to progress. So we beg for peace, we plead for peace now, during, after the election, and thereafter.
Now, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GEPA, says it has recorded an 11.75% growth in non-traditional exports for the period between January and December 2023. Speaking during a minister's press briefing, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Asafohene Dr. Ifua Asabia Sari I, revealed that non-traditional export earned the country $3.944 billion during this period, reflecting a rise from 2022's $3.531 billion.
The non-traditional export earnings have been growing steadily since the government of the New Patriotic Party took over in 2017. And since that time, I can tell you that the exports of this country has grown steadily. It's never seen anything like this in the history of its being set up in 1969. This is the first time in this period that the export of this country has actually grown and grown exponentially. As I'm talking to you, we have grown exports. For 2023, we grew export to 11.75%. Its contribution to the overall national export is about 24%, and this has been brought about by the various interventions that I'll be talking about later, but it has not been in a vacuum. A lot of work has gone into growing this percentage, and it involves other agencies as well that we collaborate with. All of these organizations are working with GEPA hand in hand to grow the exports of the country.
Before we wrap up, President Akufo-Addo has commented on the arrest of the protesters, saying that the executive arm of government has no influence in the recent arrest and detention of some of the protesters. He explained that as a political leader who has embarked on several demonstrations, he has no problem with citizens protesting about an issue of concern. According to him, government is not stifling citizens' right through any means. We'll bring you more of this story in a subsequent bulletin. And this is where we wrap up this morning's bulletin. Grateful for your time. My name is Obed Gaglo. Have a blessed week.
It has been one of the best vans I've used personally in this country. It runs a system where we are able to run on Dante to be able to do our broadcast mixed well also from this van.
I've used this OB van for quite a number of big productions, i.e. 3 music awards, the late President Rollis' state funeral, Miss Africa Awards, and a number of them.
My experience with the GHOne van has been the state of the art equipment they have. Personal experience is you can use it for both indoor and outdoor, all events, conferencing, like anything you need a van to work for you, GHOne provides it.
My experience with the van has been very good. Why? Because it has a number of facilities that I may not get in other vans. You know, the van has a very wide bench that can accommodate all my technical crew, ICCU, switcher, graphics, CG, and all of that. And then it also has a studio, a green room studio that comes with TriCaster. So if you want somebody to do commentary on a live event, you can put that presenter who's in that studio as well and get that running.
To give an experience to our audience, we're also watching on TVs and online. Work with an Gaglo technology system which makes your video mixing with Panasonic cameras, like a lot of other stuff in terms of content you need to get also for your live broadcasts.
I prefer the GHOne van to a lot of other vans I've used, or even doing my own setup on a tabletop setup, because on a production you see a number of people in the van. And so if you have a very small van, it means that it's going to be choked, and that will affect the creativity as well. The price has been discounted as well to accommodate varied budgets. And so no matter the budget you have, I understand you can have the truck and do business with it.
It looks huge, but very affordable. Cost is really, really affordable. My experience with it, EMI Awards last year, super excellent. Try it, call them, and I'm going to give you the best of price. Really affordable.